Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode of Season 4. I'm Jack, joined by
Dominic Castillo.
And Giovanni Galvan.
Alright. So, we are back. I know it's been like a week or two, but we are back. A lot has been going on since the last episode. How have you guys been?
I have been pretty okay so far. School is getting closer by the minute, and by the hour, and by the days, and by the weeks. It's almost close to my move-in date, which is 4 days from now.
Dude, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. I got my classes prepared. I bought a lot of already utilities and I guess basic furniture items. I bought a carpet. I have here my mattress cushion to cover over. I'm bringing in some blankets. I bought another computer monitor. It should be coming in the mail tomorrow. What else is going on? Nothing much else. It's kind of slow at the moment. Obviously, yesterday and the day before. Yesterday. Basically yesterday. All of us hanged out together. And it was pretty fun. It was crazy. It was cool. We almost died yesterday. I think Jill can attest to that. Aside from that, nothing much else has been going on in terms of just the academic side, work side. I've finally, but also unfortunately, left the crypto arena job, so that I can continue on work, because there's no way I'm gonna make the drive or the flight all the way back just to go to work and then attend school at the same time. That's crazy. Aside from that, the cool thing about the job thing, even though I'm leaving, is that if I ever want to come back, the boss man or the boss woman states that I can come back whenever I want, because I pretty much, I guess, I'm a good member of the family. I don't know what I'm saying. You can get what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I thought, Joe. Everything else seems to be fine so far. Nothing's crazy. I'm gonna do, I guess, an engine oil swap on my car. It's gonna get a little old, It's already been a year. It's already been a year since I bought my car for the first time. And yeah, man, nothing much else. I think I'm just waiting for the move, waiting for school to start up again, which is on the 28th. And I'm a little nervous, not gonna lie. I've heard UC Berkeley is very competitive, and it even online. A bunch of students really do fight each other over over things, which I think is just pretty dumb. And I really do not want to be in that sort of environment, because it can get pretty toxic, as was some other peers from Berkeley have told me in their respective majors and classes. It can get pretty bad. Aside from that, nothing much else. How have you guys been, man?
Jack, do you want to go? Should I?
You go first.
Okay, so as Dominic has mentioned, school is on the horizon. Everyone except Willie is going back to school. This is 14 days away from us. Everything's looking good on my end. All my classes are ready. That was just on the portal not so long ago, just to see if there was any updates. Nothing has changed. One thing has changed. I thought all 4 of my classes were going to be 2 months long, because that's what it said when I picked them, from August to October. But for 3 of them, the dates have changed. It'll be from August to December. So that's going to be a small inconvenience, because I really thought I could go an entire season at the crypto without having to worry about school, or at least for the majority of it, right? Because then the next semester would start, and that's when the issue would happen. But now I'm gonna have to go. What is it? It starts in October. 3 months, with probably working 3 days out of the 5 a week. which is kind of sad because, you know, gotta keep your hours, gotta keep your hours up, you know, seniority and all that. But besides that, I think I'm ready for it. I'm excited. This Wednesday I have my my written, or like the knowledge test for the driving license. I haven't studied at all for it, but I'm gonna really sit down today, tomorrow, and before my appointment on Wednesday, and just try to hammer it away. What else is there? I wasn't paying attention. Did Dominic mention that we went out yesterday?
Yes, but he didn't go into
Yeah.
detail. So if you want to.
So yeah, yesterday we went out for a farewell dinner, I guess you could say, because three of our friends are leaving to different parts of the country soon, but only two out of the three were able to make it because one already left. And it was a nice dinner we went to Panda Inn. The food was really good at first, but then I don't know, personally I got tired of the taste. Everything just started tasting the same, and after that point I just couldn't eat anymore. But it was good. After that we went to a park. What was it, like at 8 p.m. or something like that?
Mm-hmm.
We went to a park to play spike ball for a little bit. It was fun. We started doing random forfeits, which we didn't really do, but it was funny, joking around about it. But I know I heard Jack say something about two fingers.
What? That was Jose. That was
I can't say the
Jose.
rest of the joke, but it was funny.
That was Jose, not me.
Oh yeah. Jose. Yeah, the vibes were there. I thought the vibes weren't there at first, but then the vibes were there. It was funny. Yeah, it was a nice day. We also went before the dinner. We went to Barnes and Noble, and I picked up two books. One of them is The Creative Act, A Way of Being by Rick Rubin. Jack, I don't know if you're familiar with him. He's a very famous producer.
Yeah.
And then the other one is How to Listen, Discover the Hidden Way to Better Communication by Oscar Chimboli. I don't know anything about this book, but I saw it on my way out, and I was like, that looks interesting, so I bought it. On a more personal note, I've been struggling a lot, mentally, because of my relationship with a certain someone. But I don't know. Things were getting better, but things are, looking on like the bad side again. Not necessarily, but it's just me overthinking. So hopefully that resolves itself soon. Is there anything else I need to share? Oh, no, I guess I could save it for later on in the episode. That's pretty much it for me.
All right. Good to hear that the two of you have been doing well. As for myself, I'm trying to think since the last time we recorded, what's happened since. Well, obviously the big thing that happened since I ended up going to two concerts back to back. Like one was on Saturday, the other was on Sunday. I ended up going to see NF and Idol in concert. Really enjoyed myself at both concerts. The second one was like a first time experience because it was my first time going to any sort of event alone, anytime I've gone to anything like a concert or a movie, literally just any type of event, I've always had someone there, whether it's a friend or one of my family members, but I went completely on my own. I did feel a bit awkward at times, but I was able to sort of talk myself out of it because I was I was kind of feeling awkward, but then I was you didn't spend this money to not enjoy this, and you didn't spend this money to overthink, I was basically talking myself out of feeling awkward by sort of just rationalizing and kind of making myself realize that a lot of it was just overthinking, because another thing was dude, do you think any of the other people in this concert that like paid money to be here are like overthinking it? You know, it's like no, they're enjoying themselves, so you should too. You know, so that was real fun. After that, I mean, other than that, I've just been kind of working on different things. I'm trying to get back into my groove of writing. It's been kind of some time. I need to pick out one like final class, I think, to get my schedule fully set, and then from there the boys can finally come together and figure out like a workable schedule for the podcast, whether it's recording on a new day or different time. But yeah, and then I definitely want to, you know, I definitely want to take a break in a bit, in a sense of like I don't want to force it, but like I do want to kind of like take a break to start writing more, just because it's like I kind of know once school starts, it's like I'm not gonna have the time to do it, so I'd rather write write up my different like scripts and ideas like now while I have like a lot of time, so that I can already have them sort of backlogged ready, you know, instead of like having to like either write them while like doing schoolwork, you know. So
Yeah.
I definitely want to take some time to do that. Like I said, I gotta take some time to just pick out like my final class. I guess like I don't know, the biggest issue is that like even at a place like LACC, it's like it's difficult not only like finding like the class you need at times, but it's difficult because sometimes like certain departments only have like one or two professors, and it's difficult because you like look into it, and it's like either some of the classes are full, or like, hey, look, this class is open, but like the professor has terrible reviews, you know. So
I didn't even think about looking at the professor reviews. I just picked the class. I was like, whatever.
bro does not know.
I mean, I know that's like a common thing to do, but I don't know. It's kind of like useless information to me because one person could dislike the teacher, but then you could like them. But I don't know. It is what it is.
True. But
And then on the whole, oh my bad, bro.
I was just trying to think of anything else, but go ahead. I'll just mention the other thing after.
I was just gonna say I also need to add one more class, an English one, but I can't be bothered, bro. I'm just gonna wait for them to tell me something about it before I do it.
And then other than that, I know Gio and Dom already mentioned it, but like to give a sort of backstory to it. So we knew Dom was leaving for Berkeley. We knew our friend Oscar was leaving back to Tennessee to go back to Vanderbilt, and then our other friend Ricky was going to be going back to Claremont. But obviously, he's more available because he can just drive down from Claremont anytime. But obviously, Dominic's going to be all the way up in Berkeley. Oscar's going to be out in Tennessee. So we were like, we kind of got the idea of the last hangout to be like, hey, since we know when Dominic's leaving, we'll ask Oscar when he's leaving, and we can like do a big, going away party in a sense, even though, hopefully we'll see them come winter time and all that. But that was the sort of thinking. But us as a group, we weren't really, like, if you knew us as a group, we're pretty terrible planners, all of us. So it's like a week had passed by because like people were saying that they weren't able to do it. And then this past week, my brother, my mom, and my grandma, they made a trip to Nebraska to visit some family. So that left my dad and I alone. And like for the days that they weren't here, I mean, like we kind of did stuff, but like if you know my dad and I, it's like the two of us are more like homebodies in a sense. Like we kind of just prefer doing our own thing at home, and like a lot of it was just us, watching the game, like the Phillies game, or like doing our own thing, like me playing with the guys. But he did mention to me, he's like, oh, do you want to see if Oscar's busy on Saturday and we can like go out, you know? Because the last time, I think when Oscar first, or when Oscar came back for this summer, we had taken him out for breakfast one morning. So he was like, oh, see if Oscar wants to do that. And that's when I messaged him. And then it was all last second, but I was like, hey, I ended up messaging Dom, like, hey, Dom, are you busy? Do you want to come along? We went, picked up Dom, picked up Oscar. We went to IHOP to eat. And it was there that I was mentioning to my dad that we wanted to do something for the two of them, but we just couldn't figure something out. And I was telling him, our last day to do anything is probably Thursday because Dom leaves on Friday, right, Dom?
Yeah.
Yeah, and so as we were driving back, we ended up passing through Glendale. I forgot like how we came to pass that area, but we ended up passing the Panda Inn. My dad was like, "Oh, we should have came here today," and I was like, "Oh, well, even though it was around like lunchtime, I just didn't know if like that's what everyone would want, like, because like for me that was gonna be like breakfast, so I was like, oh, I don't know if that's what people want that early and whatever, yada yada." And from there, that's when he was like, hey, maybe you should see if the guys want to all come here and do that going away thing for the two of them. And I was like, oh yeah, and especially because I know my dad wanted to go. I was like, huh, well, maybe we could do it Thursday after you leave, or after you get out of work maybe. But I was like, oh, but I don't know how much that's gonna work. And he was like, oh, we can try tomorrow. And I was like, all right, well, let me see what everyone says. And surprisingly, everyone was free yesterday. So it was like such a last minute thing, but we like got so many people together that we could. Obviously, Dom and Oscar were there. Gio was there. Our friend Jose, our friend Diego, our friend Eddie. So we got like a huge group of us. We went out, had that dinner like Gio said. Then we went to the park to play some spike ball, had a lot of fun, and it's gonna sound or I don't know like what's the way to describe it, but basically when we were leaving, right, my dad wanted to make sure like everyone left first. So like as I was watching all of us leave and all that, it kind of hit me in a sense that like this whole thing about like hanging out and like doing it before like Oscar and Dom left, it kind of hit me in the fact that I was like, it's kind of crazy to think that this is what likely it would have looked like or would have happened if COVID never happened, like we would have had like one final like get together like this before Dom left to Berkeley, Oscar left to Tennessee, and like the rest of us left to our respective colleges that we were attending at the time. I just thought that was kind of like a crazy thing to think of. Like, if COVID didn't happen, this is probably similar to what it would have looked like, Except maybe it's like we all would have gone to like, I don't know, either like someone's house or someplace different, because not everyone knew how to drive back then.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I was just sort of a thought that came to my mind. I was just like, dang, that's kind of crazy to think about. But there is like potential to maybe like meet up one final time. I do know Oscar doesn't leave until like I think a week after Dom, but like Dom leaves this Friday, and with the way our group is, I doubt it's possible to get anything planned like any of the next 4 days. But yeah, that was a fun time yesterday. It was real fun. Definitely can't wait for the school year, just because I can't wait to see sort of everyone's like views on it, like Dom being on campus, Gio and I being on campus for college, but also us going back to school after such an extended period of time without being in school. I'm ready to like overreact after the first week, because that's how I am with school all the time. I just like I got that sort of doomer mentality whenever it comes to school, so it's like I'm ready to already hate it and overthink it on the first week. But I'm definitely excited to like go in person. Like I said though, I am a bit worried just because like I usually get in my own head when it comes to school, but definitely looking forward to just having a sort of not necessarily schedule, but like, you know, having some sort of formality and like purpose now, you know.
It'll be kind of cool when we run into each other on campus. Or like when we say on the in the group chat, "Yo, anyone not on campus right now?"
Yeah, or like
we just chill for a bit.
Yeah, like we see each other and be like, "Oh, I know that guy."
Yeah.
It's been like 5 years since I last saw him.
We could like fake a reunion in front of everyone.
Yeah.
Bro, I thought you were dead, man.
Dude, the last time I saw you, you enlisted into the army. Oh man.
Yeah.
But other than that, I've been doing pretty good in life. Just a short little life update from all three of us. Alright, but real quickly, going back to the Panda Inn and the food, we did get like a variety of items, but also kind of touching on what Gio said, I think the main factor was, or at least for Gio, was that a lot of it kind of, like, I think it was like a talking point, like towards the end between Dom, Gio, and I. We were talking about like, you know, because Gio's whole thing, like he mentioned, was that like at some point it just all started, you know, sort of being the same. And I think the argument Dom and I gave him was like a majority of the food items had like some type of combination of like chicken, noodles, and rice, you know, so like it kind of makes sense. It's just like all in different sort of styles and all that. But Dom, what were some of your favorite items yesterday?
Well, since we knew what item not to order, we came to what was it? We ordered the lo mein. I remember ordering the orange chicken, which were, you know, classics in terms of, you know, Panda Express. I mean, personally, I always order the chow mein along with, you know, some orange chicken. You know, that's pretty much the best. But I also decided to, you know, I guess expand my horizons a bit. At the time, Panda Express was also having their anniversary, so we decided. Oh, I guess I decided to go along with what was it? The cheese mope tofu, or something like that. It's basically a cheesy tofu combo with some like croutons that were also stanked into the cheese, which was pretty delicious in and of itself. The orange chicken, pretty much same old, pretty much the classic. The lo mein in and of itself was okay. The noodles were a bit thick, which was, I guess, expected since they were egg noodles. But the taste in of itself was kind of different as compared to like how regular chow mein tastes. Oh, they kind of tasted similar, but obviously, you know, lo mein and chow mein are different. What else did we order? We ordered the short rib, the Asian spice short rib, which I enjoyed it. Like, I enjoyed the texture for what it was. You guys didn't enjoy it. Diego, our friend, also enjoyed it. I'm not sure why you guys didn't like it. I mean, I think you guys took in a lot of the fat, which might have, you know, altered your perception on it. But I think it was pretty good. The noodles that came along with it were also pretty delicious. What else did we get served? The upside down noodle was also pretty interesting. I enjoyed it, but it was I guess kind of odd. I mean, I liked how the idea, you know, just basically a regular, you know, bowl of noodles with, you know, with the veggies on top, but just flipped upside down, so it's the other way around. Was, I guess, an interesting concept, but I enjoyed it. It was pretty delicious. I didn't get to eat too much of the veggies off of that one. I only ate, you know, a little bit of the noodles. What else? There was the Mongolian beef that we tried out, which was pretty delicious. I didn't get to try out the other platter that had the green beans.
Oh, you didn't get to try the beef and oyster sauce? Or yeah, oyster sauce, I think it was?
Yeah, I didn't get to try that one as much, but I bet it was delicious, because I like oyster sauce. But that's, what else? There was, you know, the basic white rice. We ate that up pretty quickly. Obviously, white rice, the classic staple, delicious in and of itself. I didn't get to try any of the, was the pork fried rice that you ordered?
Yeah, the pork fried rice.
Yeah, I didn't get to try that out. I'm pretty sure we ordered that last time.
Yeah.
From the next break. Yeah, personally, I didn't enjoy it that time. Maybe this time, if I were to come out with other ingredients, it might have been different. But no, I didn't get to try it. You know, it is what it is. Yeah, that's pretty much all that we ordered.
Oh, the soup, Dom, the soup.
And the soup.
Dude, the soup was really good.
Well, what was it? It was
egg drop soup with like minced chicken in it.
Yeah. I feel like I should have. I feel like a whole bowl would have been better rather than a small, that small little bowl that we ordered. And the spoon, I'm sorry, dog, but the spoon was kind of annoying just to use. It was such a thick spoon that they gave us, and the amount that you actually picked up was small. That's just me though. But aside from that, it was pretty good. The spice that they came along with was also pretty nice. A little bit of soy sauce along with it was also pretty good as well. Yeah, the food was nice. I liked it. I enjoyed it. Would I prefer this one over a regular Panda Express? I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. The long wait times, it's in and of itself is something. The food in and of itself, I don't know. Personally, I would go with Panda Express over Panda Inn. I mean, I know Panda Express is just a bunch of greased up oil just inside, all that chicken and stuff, but I prefer that over Inn. That's just me.
The food, we did get like quite a bit, but then again, we were splitting all these different ways. Everyone seemed to pretty much enjoy it. It was funny seeing the reactions of different people as they like tried the new different items. Like I think Jose's reaction was like Jose's reaction to trying that short rib was probably like the funniest, because like I don't know if you guys were watching him when he was doing it, because like he saw me try it and he instantly saw like what my reaction was, so I wanted to see what his was gonna be when he did it. I don't even think like he took a full on bite. Like I think he like barely bit into his piece and instantly knew that he just didn't want to even attempt to like try it. So like he instantly was just like, nope, I'm not doing this. It was a funny reaction.
Oh, also the lemon chicken. I thought that was delicious too, but Gio thought it was fishy for whatever reason. I did not think it was fishy.
At first, I thought it was good, but then I had like what, 6 pieces of it.
Dang.
Like towards the end of it, I was just like, no, like in the middle of it, like towards like piece 3 or 4, I was like, this has like a similar taste to something else. What is it? And like piece 5 and 6, I was like, oh, sorry, this tastes like fish. And I was like, how did they manage to make chicken taste like fish? And after that, I just couldn't eat it anymore.
I didn't try any of it, mainly because it's like I assume it was breaded with panko, huh? Were you able to tell based off of texture?
I couldn't say. Maybe.
I don't know. I know most things are usually breaded with like those panko bread crumbs. So it's like I don't usually really like that sort of style of like fried food in a sense. Like I don't know. I feel like the breadcrumbs aren't sort of the best like breaded option in my opinion. So like I don't know. I don't usually really eat a lot of items that like, because like especially like visually, a lot of times you can tell based off of like you can kind of tell what style it was like fried. So it's like I don't know. I kind of looked at it and I was like, lemon chicken obviously sounds good, but I just kind of looked at it and was like, I don't want to I don't want to waste food and like get a piece and then not like it, because like I could already tell it was gonna be, or it at least looked like it was gonna be like panko breaded, and I knew I don't like it that style, so I was like, I'm just not gonna waste food. I was like, I'll leave it to whoever else wants them. But yeah, that's pretty much it. We enjoyed a lot of the different food there. Everyone pretty much got to try like a bit of everything. gonna expose him a bit, but Diego was like 2 hours late, so he basically just got his pick of whatever was left, which was quite a lot actually. Like there was quite a lot of food left still at the very end, despite like there being 7 of us eating. But like I think we did a pretty good job, and then also just left a lot for Diego to finish up. And yeah, it was a fun experience. It was good to hang out with all the homies. And just look forward to the next time, which will likely be in the winter. Because the rest of us that are still here, we can still hang out, but like, who knows? Like, not only will it be difficult planning it out, but like, I feel like there might be some issues with like, I don't know, like getting everyone together once school starts.
Yeah. We're gonna hear I can't, bro. I have homework to do. Or I have assignments to do. I have to go to class. A lot more. No more Overwatch sessions for 5 hours a day.
No more Overwatch sessions. Honestly, that's part of the reason I didn't even bother buying the latest battle pass. Not only because like I just don't really like a lot of what's in it. Like, it might be an unpopular opinion, but I don't really like the robot theme. Like, a lot of skins just look kind of awkward to me. But like, also it's like I was like, dude, I don't even know how often I'll be able to get on, knowing that school's coming up. Like the only time I can imagine myself getting on is like at night when I'm ready to go to bed, and like only for like about an hour, and an hour of Overwatch is like one match, like 1 or 2 matches, or I would say maybe like 3 quick play matches, 1 to 2 comp matches, like that's the sort of equivalent I would give to like an hour of gameplay in Overwatch.
Yeah.
And that's not even taking into account if the games are bad. If you get like one bad game, everyone's hopping off right after that. Well, what about you guys? What are your thoughts on this latest season of Overwatch? Because it wouldn't be this podcast without us talking about Overwatch at least like 500 times each season.
Have you played the new season?
I have not. No, I haven't even watched the new trailer for the new hero. Yeah. The Mercy skin, I guess, is good. I'm not gonna pay for it though, so I guess.
W. What about you, Joe? What do you think?
Well, I think we have like a cool, maybe 20 to 25 hours into the new season total, like gameplay wise from us. I really like the new character is really fun when you play her. She's not fun when you go up against her. She's going to be like the Genji of support characters, because I think it's like it's fair. It's quick play. It's fun. You could do whatever you want in quick play, but the amount of people that I've seen not heal with her is very annoying. Like, people really think they've seen the clips on Twitter where they like squad wipe using her ult, and they think that's like all they have to do. So I think that's going to be like a very ego character. She's really fun. Her ult is really cool. Her little beacon might be a problem, because if no one shoots it, it just gets free heals for everyone, and she doesn't have to do a single thing. Like, a little beacon could keep the entire team up in a fight. And I think that's a little bit maybe too effective. I don't know. For the other characters, there's been more Genjis for some reason, and that's also annoying. But I'm starting to play Sombra more, which is nice. I find her really fun, and I'm getting more. I'm getting better with her, I should say. Torbjorn too. I don't know why Torbjorn's being played. He literally just got a small buff, and people are thinking he's like, a viable pick nowadays. What else?
Life Weaver.
I think. Oh, Life Weaver is broken, dude. He gets his ult, even if after the change to his how the cost of his ult, but he still gets it super quickly. It's really fun to play as him. The only thing I don't like with Life Weaver is I can't say that on the podcast. Never mind. But yeah, those three changes were really well. I think the gameplay is really solid right now. There isn't like one dominant character over the rest. Soldier's a little bit annoying to deal with, but usually you have a tank that wants to swap off Doom. For the battle pass, I like the Ash skin that's in the battle pass. The Mystic Ana skin, I think I like the first two stages of it, but then the third one, where they made the robot look like an old woman. I just can't get behind it, bro. It looks corny. I don't know. I kind of agree with you. This battle pass is kind of dead, but it's too late. I already bought it. Nothing I can do.
Couldn't be. The only issue of not buying the battle pass is that you now gotta wait to unlock the new hero. So it's like I haven't even I think I only got to play her for 2-3 games before it finally locked her for me. I think on the first day they let everyone play her, but after that it's okay, either buy the battle pass or unlock her by what is it tier 40 something. I don't know. I don't even remember when you get to unlock her.
45.
Yeah, so I was just I'll get to try her out another time, or I'll just try her out in practice range. From the little bits that I got to play her, I definitely was struggling, damage wise, just because I realized that her gun kind of needs to charge in a sense. The moment you shoot, you could shoot again, but it's not going to be as much damage unless you let it charge back up a bit to get better damage. Her healing output is, despite her healing being like Reinhardt's shield or Sigma's shield, where it has a sort of, what's it called, its own or actually no, I would compare it more to Orissa's gun, where or how Orissa's gun can overheat. Your healing can lose power, it has a certain amount of healing that it can do before you gotta let it recharge up. But despite that, the healing output is still insane, because if I remember correctly, that healing does I want to say it's 100 or 120 healing. So it's that output is insane, even if you need to let it charge. And then the drone itself does 60 or 90 health. I forget how much. And you get it pretty quickly. So it's her healing output looks pretty crazy. Her I still need to get better for damage, and then the ult is pretty crazy too, where it's if you are able to get a good amount of people and you see them grouped up, if you do damage to one of them, I think once you do 100 health worth of damage or something like that, they cause an explosion, so you can get either a lot of kills, or you can get a lot of people low health after causing an explosion, and it could lead to some good picks from your DPS. So she looks like a pretty crazy character. The comment from the dev team definitely makes sense now, where they were saying they'd rather release a broken character than a character that is too weak and loses its hype, kind of like what happened with Lightweaver. So it kind of makes sense that they said that, and then they dropped Ilari, because that is definitely what it seems like with her character, where it's they dropped a character that I wouldn't say is broken or busted, but is super viable and super good off drop, rather than needing a grace period to get buffed or nerfed, or well, maybe she might get nerfed, who knows, but needing that grace period to see if they need to get buffed or nerfed. It's they just dropped her. She's super good off start. People are loving her, as far as the PvE stuff, I haven't bought it. I am likely not going to. It just doesn't seem worth the price. It does seem interesting though. I still need to watch gameplay and see the cinematics, but it seems pretty cool. It kind of shows why so many people were hyped for PvE, why so many people wanted it, and from the little clips I've seen of it all, it kind of just shows like the argument that like a lot of people make in the sense that like, you know, I don't know if it's too controversial or like if like maybe if you spend more time thinking, maybe you can come up with like some better answers. But like the common argument I see people using, especially now after the PvE is dropped, is that like Overwatch has like the sort of like best cast of characters, you know, like their roster of characters, and when given the time to demonstrate like their characters, their lore, their personalities and all, they put a lot of effort into these characters, and you kind of wish you could see more, you know, like you could see more and more often, like more cinematics more often, more like at least backstories given on the different characters, you know. Maybe those like sort of not necessarily cinematic, or they're kind of cinematics, but they're like the comic style ones. See more of that, you know, and hopefully with PvE, that's where you get to learn more about the different characters, because they have such a huge roster, and yet there's so many of them that they still haven't fully touched on, you know.
I haven't seen any of the PvE thing. I saw the small cutscene at the end, and it was kind of confusing to me. But when is the next mission coming? Is it like multiple missions in one season, or like only one mission per season? I forget what the plan for PvE was. Well,
Yeah, I forget.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't. It might be maybe. I mean, I think they said multiple missions this season, but I don't know. It's too difficult to think, and it's, you know, in my personal experience. Again, I don't want to sound like someone who's super negative about the game and that like they hate it, but like it's also difficult to trust the Overwatch team with really anything, because it's like they promise so much, and a lot of times they end up having to go back on their word. So it's like it's difficult to know what's actually going to be true or not, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But I know recently they said they want to try and figure out a way to get more heroes out quicker. And I think a lot of people would appreciate that, simply because of the fact that, like, I don't know, like for certain roles, it's like they're trying to get tank and tank and support on the level of DPS, but then at the same time, it's like the DPS have to wait so long to get a new hero, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I think the last DPS hero, other than Sojourn, that dropped at Overwatch 2's launch, was Echo, I think. So yeah, it's like the DPS. It's been a while since they've gotten a hero. Maybe it might be the next one. Who knows? But we'll definitely just have to wait and see, you know. But
new DPS would be nice.
But any final thoughts from you two gentlemen?
Not that I can think of.
Yeah, no, nothing here. I hope Overwatch does good, doesn't do anything that could break the game or cause any metas build to cause the death of the first Overwatch. You know, it is what it is.
He's not wrong. But with that being said, thank you all for joining us for this episode. I've been Jack, joined by
Dominic Christie.
No, Giovanni.
Thank you all for joining for this episode, and we'll catch you on the next one.